Welcome to Healthy and Active in the Couve. This is a very special one. I am excited. And with me, as always, is Dr. Trent Corey, who is a doctor of physical therapy. I am Nick Medlock. I am a personal trainer that's certified through NASM. I do nutrition coaching as well. And our special guest, I'm super excited about this, Northwest Personal Training owner, creator, entrepreneur, and just overall, just amazing person. Sherri McMillan is here with us today to talk about health and fitness. And I'd like to just discuss her life in the health and fitness business, leading up to all kinds of community building, books and seminars that she's done, lecturing. But then most importantly, I really want to get the word out for this Forbes award that she's in the running for. So hi, Sherri, how are you?
Hello, Nick. Long time no see.
I know.
Good to see both of you. And I want to congratulate both of you for, just launching this, podcast and spreading the good message about helping people get healthy and fit and taking care of their health. So it's great to just have this information circulating throughout the community. So you both should be very proud about just, investing that time and energy into our community and just getting people moving and knowing what they need to do to be healthy. So good job.
Thank you. Um,
Thank you.
we're trying not to talk over each other so it doesn't blip out. So maybe the responses will be delayed in case people are wondering that. But Sherri, you are up for an award in Forbes. I believe it's a part of a grant process, but I don't want to talk as much about that as I want to talk about as much as why you deserve that. And I just want to start in with your life in the fitness industry and kind of lead into your perspective on health and wellness, not even just as an individual, but communally, like relationships with people, and then broadly as relationships, health-wise as a community of networking and creating healthy businesses around you by networking and cooperating and not having bad competition, but having synergistic competition where we're encouraging each other to do better.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. Well, I think, for me, involved in sports as a young, kid in elementary school and high school, and I truly can look back at my life and I can, look at sport and I really do truly believe that sport saved me. Like it introduced me to incredible coaches and other teammates that I could see, a path to a good life. And, if I worked hard and, I could sort of change my circumstances. And it really did, sport inspired me and it truly changed my life, saved my life. And so I knew when, I was able to go to university, I knew that I wanted to do something in sports. And I originally was kind of thinking I would go down the route that Trent went, which was, sports medicine, physical therapy. And so I was heading that direction. And all the while, was working part-time in a fitness facility. And I started teaching classes and then personal training. And all throughout my academic, degree, whether, it was my 4 years bachelor's degree in exercise physiology, and then I did my master's degree in exercise physiology. And the whole time I just worked as a part-time fitness instructor and then a full-time trainer. And I remember when I got my master's degree, I remember one of my clients saying to me, like, okay, what are you going to do now? You've got a master's degree. You're clearly not going to keep working in a gym. And I was like, actually, I think I am because I just loved it, right? I just loved the energy. I loved the just helping people make changes to their life and seeing that positive difference we could make. And it was just such an incredible, just environment to be around. I was like, I don't want to stop doing this. And so I was able to just figure out a path to like, how could I make this a career? Like, how could I, continue working in the fitness industry and helping people adopt a healthy and fit lifestyle and to be able to make it actually, something I could do for a living. And, they always say, if you love what you do, you never have to work a day in your life. And it kind of feels like that. I mean, it's always, there's hard times and it's work. But when you love it and when you enjoy it, it just, you get so much satisfaction. It makes any of the hard work just feel so easy. So, that's sort of the path of how I got into the fitness industry. And it's 36 years ago. So my first fitness class I ever taught, you know, when I was 19 years old, that was, the year between high school and going into university. That was my very first class. And, here we are 36 years later, and it's been such an incredible path, just lovely people, clients and colleagues along the way. And just, yeah, it's been a joy for sure.
Well, that's amazing. And one of my favorite phrases that you tell us all the time is that we're here to change people's lives. And I love that in the fact that as we're also helping in that they change our lives as well.
Mhm.
I think there's something more to be said about health and fitness than just the trainer giving squats and things, like that. There's a relationship that's built, and there's different levels of health.
Mhm.
And I think you've done a brilliant job of integrating all of those different levels of health, because you do yoga, you do education in the form of books and lectures and courses, and you have a daily, or I don't know, a weekly column in the Columbian, that people tell me all the time that it moves and touches them. And you may not always get that feedback because they're reading it and it's not something that they can like write a comment on that section unless they're reading it in a Facebook post or something like that. But what gravitated you towards more of this holistic, is what I'm going to call it, health and wellness?
Yeah, I think, early on in my career, I realized that, there's so many things I enjoyed doing in the fitness industry. And so instead of specializing in just doing like one thing, I became, a fitness professional that could do a lot of different things. And I think that helped with my longevity in the industry in my career because, like you said, I love group fitness, but I also love private training and one-on-one. And I love the leadership side of our industry, and I love the business side of our industry, and I love writing, and I there's just so many ways that you can make a difference in the fitness industry. And some people specialize, and that's awesome as well. But for me, just having the ability to do a lot of different things, it feels like it's never boring, which is one of the reasons why I feel like I can continue to do this 36 years later and still love it so much, because it's not doing the same thing every day. Like every day, my day is different. What I'm focusing on, what I'm doing is so different with the common, goal of helping people achieve a healthy and fit lifestyle. So the message is the same, the goal is the same, but how I go about doing it is, just different day to day. And so I think that's, just such a gift to be able to do your career in a lot of different ways and still feel like you're making a difference in a lot of different ways, and being able to talk to a lot of different types of people depending on what how I can get the message to them, whether it's teaching a group class or whether it's they're reading my article in a newspaper or coming to a workshop I've hosted or whatever. Like I can talk to people in a lot of different ways, but the message is always very similar. It's just how do we move our bodies, how do we age young, how do we stay functional and feel energetic and vibrant as we get older. So the message is always the same.
And so, what's your magic bullet for living younger or growing younger?
Yeah, move your body, man.
Move. Awesome.
Move your body. Yeah, I think muscle is, as we all know, muscle is our longevity tissue. And it's like as you get older, like do whatever you absolutely can to preserve your muscles. And there's a lot of ways to do that, right? There's no one path, but just do whatever you can to keep your muscles and preserve your muscle, build your muscle, and just move your body every day.
That's awesome. Well, one of the things that Trent and I love to discuss is how everything in our body is connected. We'd like to go beyond that as well, but we talk about how if you have even a toe injury, that could lead into a shoulder injury, and it's like you won't see that at first unless you're looking for this fully integrated thing, and I want to take it beyond that. into like your work within the community here. I do a lot of networking for Northwest Personal Training, and when I went out at first, everybody knew you, and so it's like I don't have to have a cell of introduction. It's like, oh, you work with Sherri. I'm like, oh yeah. So like as I was getting to know the people in Vancouver, I was getting to know how much they loved you, and an influence that you've had. So my understanding of Northwest Personal Training isn't that it's just its own unit, is that it's also connected to a broader group of people and business networks that you are helping to create. Even just health as far as awareness, but I would start to say that building healthy relationships and healthy business practices where there's this give and take of I can help you this way, you can help me this way, and we're creating health and wellness as far as within a system that's outside of our system.
Hmm. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, we're a small business, right? And small businesses have to stick together and building each other, like I help you, you help me. Just it builds a thriving community. And, relationships, that's part of health, right? As we know, that part of longevity is having good, solid relationships with friends, family, your community. And so as we get out in the community and we get to know people and they get to know us, I mean, that's promoting people's health, right? It's just, getting people, into like a family, of like-minded businesses that see the value in, taking care of each other, that I think that you can't not succeed if that's your goal is, just get out there, meet people, and, instead of asking yourself, what's in it for me, or what do I got to get out of this, instead, how can I help you, and then it just all comes around, right? What goes around comes around, and then it benefits us, right? Because when people think about fitness or training, they're going to be like, oh yeah, go see Northwest Personal Training, they got a great team, they got Nick, they've got all these incredible trainers, and they know that they can comfortably recommend someone to us because they know we're going to take good care of them. And that's how do you get that reputation? It's all about relationships, building relationships.
That reminded me of a quote that I like. People don't care about how much you know until they know about how much you care. And I think that
Yeah.
your business has really exemplified that. And I think I'll lead that into why you deserve that Forbes Entrepreneur Award. And if you don't know it, the people who are listening, she's been nominated for this award for Entrepreneur. Is it of the Year, or is it broader than that? Can you tell us a little bit about it and how to vote for you?
Yeah, yeah. So I guess you could go to our Facebook page and find the link and read about the organization and the nonprofit that they're supporting, which is, it's a really good cause. It's right up our alley. It's, promoting physical health and good nutrition amongst our youth. And I do believe that, if you think about a lot in our health system, I often refer to our health system as a sickness system,
Hmm.
because we're not a preventative, country. We think more about, okay, once someone's sick, now we got to, heal them, right? We got to cure them. But it's so much easier to prevent disease and illness than it is to cure it, right? And so I think if we can get kids, at a young age, learning that, moving our bodies makes us feel better physically, mentally, emotionally, right? In every way, start them young so it just becomes part of their lifestyle. They just know, like, hey, when I eat better, I feel better. And that allows me to do great things. And, if I move my body, I just have all this energy. So, the actual, award itself or the competition itself is, at its essence, a fundraiser to raise, funds for a really great cause. And, the path to the win, I guess, there's a lot of entrepreneurs across the whole country, a lot of small business owners who deserve this recognition, who are doing incredible things in their communities across the whole country. And so when I got that email, I was like, oh, this is a long shot, right? Like as if, we're going to win across the whole country, entrepreneur of impact. And I'm like, yeah, I am an entrepreneur. Northwest Personal Training is a small business. yes, we make a huge impact in our community and across the country. Is there as many people doing great work in their, respective professions and industries? Absolutely, right? I look at the other, competitors who are up for this award. I'm like, oh my God, they're doing such incredible things in their community. So I remember when I first got the email, I was like, oh, this like as if this is a long shot. And I was like, oh, you never know. You never know. Might as well just, try and see. And, I thought to myself, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So it's like, you might as well just try. Like, maybe this is our year. Maybe this is, Vancouver, Washington, Northwest Personal Training. We get recognized. It was, you get written up in Forbes magazine and your story of your organization and what you do for the community, which would be highlighted, which would be amazing for our business, obviously, and for our team of trainers. And you get a $25,000 prize, which, as we've talked about at our meetings, we want to get a sauna for the men's locker room. And I was like, oh, this is how
Oh.
we could get it. Our guys, we have it in the women's locker room, but the guys feel, very much, feel like, how come the women have a sauna and we don't have a sauna? So it would be a way for us to, offer that service to our guy clients and, offer some other services and equipment that would just take us, take our business to another level. So I was like, well, let's just try. You never know. And at the end of the day, it just comes down to, it's one of those things where you've got to vote every day and then you make it to the next round. And then so basically you've got to get all your friends and family and clients remembering to vote every day when everyone's super busy and they got their own, things that they got to focus on. It's like, oh, how do you get, people to want to vote every single day for, weeks? This will go on for a while. It's like you just keep getting to the next round and the next round. And if you get to the next round, then okay, now you got to get your friends and family and clients to vote again every single day. So at the end of the day, I think, it becomes who has the most endurance to go through the process. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a process. And I remember saying, well, the one thing we have at Northwest Personal Training is endurance.
Mhm.
So I was like, let's go for it. That's one thing that, we can stay on task for a good amount of time and, see how far we can go through this, whether we, whichever round we make it to, if we make it to the final round, like how amazing would that be for our business and for our team and for our community just to be recognized in Forbes. So I'm kind of keeping that in my, mind. It's like, yes, it's a long shot for sure. And a lot of deserving people that could easily win this award, equally as we could. And you just never know. So let's just go for it and see what happens.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I just want to get this out to as many people because I think that you're very deserving, as well as all the people that you know who are deserving. So we might as well try as hard as we can. So I definitely want to support you the way that we can here, and then also just keep this going, whether we win or not. I know that that's not the goal. The goal is what you've
Right.
been, and then if helps us get some more exposure to help people, that's the bigger prize.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know, we just celebrated our 25th anniversary at Northwest Personal Training. And I easily feel, I mean, that time flew by. I easily feel like we'll make it another 25 years and I'll be 80 years old at that time, getting up there like, come on, team, let's go. Let's celebrate. Let's dance. Let's have a good time. So that's my goal. I can see that happening. Like I don't see a time when I will never do what I'm doing. Like as long as I can keep doing this, I feel like, I love it so much that, I will just want to do it forever. I don't see a day where I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm retiring. It's like, nope, I can never see that. I think this is easily, we're going to do another 25 years and just keep going.
That's awesome. Well, I want to open it up to Trent if he has any questions or
Yeah.
comments.
Yeah, great, Sherri. It's been just great to hear your passion about health and how much you just exude that excitement about how you can help others, and how you said how it's so much fun to just do what you do, and then it really does show, and really I'm really appreciative of everything that you've done in the community and all the things that people who all that it's just really inspiring to see that reach out effect that you've had from just your dream and your passions as someone 19 years old to kind of go beyond into you know training people that you were just training with, and then you had other trainers, and then you've built this thing. It's just been really cool to watch. I just had a question about just how things have shifted over the last 25 years. I'm sure obviously it's shifted a ton in this day and age of the digital realm, and how things are just so high paced, and the challenges of people having to address what they need to do. Most people know, yeah, I need to eat healthy, and I know I need to exercise, but it is a challenge. Just curious how you found that to be something you guys been able to meet that challenge over this last little in the last little bit of time.
Mhm. Yeah, I think for sure in 25 years, our industry has become a lot more sophisticated. We're a much more educated group. We're a much more credible group, a profession that is much more respected amongst health professionals, where they see that we can be the bridge, for people who are maybe sick or injured, towards, just healthy living, because many of our clients see us, multiple times a week, whereas, many medical professionals, other health professionals don't see their clients that often. So, as a result of that, a lot of health professionals are seeing that, okay, if I can align with good, qualified, competent, credible trainers, they're going to help my patients, achieve just overall health and wellness. And so I think, we're definitely much more of an educated group than 25 years ago, much more respected, much more credible. But with that said, just like what Nick mentioned earlier, is that, from a client's perspective, the most important thing for them is they just want to know that we care, that we just really, want them to achieve their goals. We want them, and we want to be the coach. We want to be the individual or the organization that oversees their health and wellness program. So ultimately, they live their best life, and so no matter how many degrees you got and how many credentials and certifications, at the end of the day, people just want to know, like, do you care? Do you really love what you do, and you're here because you want to help people? And so even though we're a much more educated group, at the end of the day, the most important thing for me when I'm hiring new people onto our team is the essence of who someone is. Are you a good person at your heart? Like, do you just are you in this industry because you want to help people? And if that's your goal, then you're going to be a great member to our team. You're going to represent well. And if your goal is to become filthy rich, well, number one, you're probably in the wrong industry to begin with. I don't really know anyone in the fitness industry, who said, like, I'm gonna become a fitness professional because I want to be filthy rich. It's like, okay, it's definitely a profession, a career from the heart, from the soul of just helping people. You should be able to make a good income, like an income that you can support yourself and your family off of. But there's probably better ways to become filthy rich versus becoming a fitness professional. But, when I'm looking at, a potential member of our team, right, a fitness professional to join our team, I'm really looking at, their ability to connect with people, their work ethics, their ability to inspire. Can they find common ground? Do they care? Those things are more important to me. The other stuff we can train and teach. The other, the more the soft skills are harder, right? And if someone comes to us with just incredible work ethics and a great personality that really connects with people, that to me is far more important, because at the end of the day, the clients just want to know, hey, are you going to help me? Do you care? And that's the most important.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's great. Yeah. I think you guys do that really well. I see the knowledge base. I trust you guys completely when, like I know if there's a good bridge from when I'm seeing people and they need to move on to their plan. I mean, definitely, talking with Nick and all these times, it's just amazing how much that knowledge is so strong and how we're able to help get people to a further part along the journey. And like we talked about before, how we have this sickness system, we're trying to think about the whole amount of wealth, whole amount of health. And it's not just part of like just getting over being just hurt or sick. We want to get to the point where you're just thriving, and you guys do great
Absolutely.
with that. So that's what's been fun to be part of your team, or being able to interact with you guys and have the ability to know that I have the right people that I can trust to make sure that they're getting that right care. So it's been great.
And vice versa. Vice
Yeah.
versa, Trent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're very good at what you do, and have helped a lot of people, overcome injuries and perform better in their life, right? Whatever the goal is.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Sherri. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Trent. Also, I've got some more referrals headed your way, speaking on that same topic. But what I wanted to say finally, before we wrap this up, that at Northwest Personal Training at the end of February, we're going to have a heart panel that Dr. Trent is going to be on. We're going to be talking about heart health with the American Health Association. We're going to have 3 panelists again, like we did last year, and we're going to be talking about the effects of semaglutide and Ozempic type medications on the heart, as well as some other heart health topics that we're going to bring up, but that's kind of the bigger thing. But Trent, you're going to be on that, and I'm going to ask you about heart math, like we talked about last year.
Yeah.
But we should have a new episode about just heart math. But
oh my gosh, I go so deep in that. I love it. I love that. It's so cool about heart rate variability, all the things that we do to create these amazing echo effects that kind of exude from our body. It's energetic. It's very powerful. We are electromagnet. It's amazing, and it can be measured, and that's what's cool. It's not just the woo part of it. It's actually like the really back science. Hence the math. Sometimes people are heavy at heart, and then we put math in there. You go, okay, but it's still great. It is
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we do that. Sherri, so much for being on. Everybody, check out the flyers and posters and all the information I'm going to have on the social media. If you have more questions, definitely write them in the comments. If we haven't added all of the links that you want us to, I will keep sending things back in. Even if it's years later, I'll put more links in and maybe new studies and data as science adjusts itself and everything. But thank you both for being here. I love what I do, and I love doing it with you guys. So thank you so much.
Appreciate it, Nick.
Thanks to both of you.
Yeah, thanks, Sherri, so much. Great having you here, and it's been wonderful. So thank you so much.
Yeah. All right, guys. Bye for now.
Bye for now.
You want to send us off, Nick?
I will send us off. Everybody, thank you for being here. This was Healthy and Active in the Couve. Vote for Sherri. Vote for her many, many times a day. And before we head off, any comments, questions, let us know. But we'll see you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Yep.
Bye, everybody.